what's up, guys? I'm playing Airsoft.
Sky from Newbury Paintball and Airsoft.
No one cares. Okay, anyways. In case you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and actually watch my videos, Sky and I did like a first impression video of this, I guess.
Something like that.
This gun last week. Well, full review. Adaptive Armament, OEM by SHS. Let's do this. Ooh. Why are you getting so close to me?
I can't. What's wrong with this kid?
As far as externals go, this is full metal. Yeah, it's pretty lightweight, which is, I think, a great combination. You have an M-LOK rail system, which is...
It is actually a mil spec, so it's actually really nice.
Oh, smooth.
I know.
Yeah, thanks.
Good.
You have a Picatinny upper rail, so if you don't have any M-LOK rail segments, since they are not included, you can at least mount stuff up here.
I am a robot.
This gun is fully ambidextrous, which is kind of cool for all your lefty players out there, but what I found the coolest is that it has a realistic bolt release situation, so when you access your hop up, you don't have to hold it back. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's ambidextrous and it actually functions. So many guns have this, but they don't function. I'm not gonna mention any names because that usually doesn't end well, but yeah, I'm not going to. So we are back behind the table because apparently walking and talking isn't exactly something in my skill list.
He legitimately had a hard time walking and talking.
Thanks, Guy.
No, he really did.
Anyways,
funny.
we have QD Sling Mount points on the rear of the gun, as on the rear of the receiver, as well as in the stock. However, sorry if I'm a hater or whatever you guys want to say, but this is a flimsy plastic stock. I would not put my QD Sling Mount points in there and expect it to hold. Whatever, just my opinion. It could be, you guys could think otherwise.
He's coming up with my biggest con about the gun. This is the worst part about it.
If I could get the freaking stock open. Since there is a Mosfet housed in the buffer tube and the stock is tiny, there's essentially no battery space whatsoever. It's kind of like, you know, the front wired guns with no battery space. This is a rear wired gun with no battery space.
Yeah, so make sure you use a
get a new
stick
stock.
type. Yeah, get a new stock or go with the stick type. Alrighty then.
So as far as internals go, this list is really long, so prepare yourself. I'm going to do some video shots by Tim, camera guy, of the gun, so you don't have to watch me talk the entire time, because that's what I'm doing now. Let's talk about it. Essentially, overall, this is built for longevity. Everything is high torque, which kind of affects some things in good ways, other things in not so good ways. We're going to get into more detail. Let's roll the camera video shots of me not talking. So as previously mentioned several times, this gun is built for longevity, which means you're looking at a reinforced gearbox, you're looking at high torque 18:1 ratio gears, everything else I'm not going to mention at all, but like the cylinder head and piston, whatever, it's all built for longevity. They want this gun to last. This does kind of affect certain things such as the rate of fire. Obviously, since you have high torque parts, 18:1 ratio gears, it's going to shoot a little slower.
And 9mm bearings it had.
Yes, well that actually helps with speed, so it's kind of confusing, but whatever. They did what they did, they know more than me. So here's where it gets mildly interesting. If you're interested in tech specs, it gets pretty interesting. If not, I don't know. Anyways, this Mosfet included in the gun is a plug-and-play Mosfet, meaning you can literally unplug it from the gun. Now, I personally think this is kind of like, you know, not sure why they did this. I'm assuming they did it to save money.
Yeah, they did to keep the cost down and still give you a Mosfet in line.
Supposedly, I'm sure this is accurate if they're like releasing it to the public, but supposedly they stress test every single gun before they ship it out. That's really cool. I don't know any other company that does that.
I talked to the guy that stresses them all out. Like, he takes them all out, backfires them, runs them through, and he lets them go.
So keep in mind that a lot of my complaints that I'm going to be sort of complaining about are really irrelevant because it's a sort of a more affordable high-end gun, if that makes any sense. So you do have the Burst Wizard 4, which is something I don't know about. I did not find it online. Maybe it's like a new version specific to this company or gun. Whatever it is, they're decent MOSFETs, can't complain. It does feature a micro trigger switch, which is awesome because you get really good trigger response. I'll show up a clip in a second. And you get a really, really short trigger reset, which I'll show in a second too.
Alright,
a lot of stuff to show in a second. Yeah, wait a couple seconds. Patience, guys. However, here comes my complaints, because there always has to be those. The trigger pull is heavy. I find that to be slightly annoying because yes, you have a micro trigger switch, but like,
boy,
You can't pull it. You can't pull the trigger as quickly if it's heavy. But yeah, these are all dumb complaints. I just have to point at everything. So I don't know why I'm holding the gun while talking about internals, but that's okay because that's how we do things around here.
Holding a gun. Who doesn't want to hold a gun?
So on the topic of the Mosfet, we mentioned a few things about it so far. Pretty cool features. It is very programmable. I'm pretty sure it said there's over like 40.
There's 40 different things you can program on it.
That's really cool. However, you kind of have to be like a mechanical engineer to figure it out. But once you figure it out, it should be fine.
Yeah, and you'll also be done with rocket science by the time you can figure that.
Yeah, you can like degree and all that. It comes stock. Throw this clip in too. Oh my god! But it comes stock with semi, 3-round burst, and full auto. I hate this, but it's changeable. It's like a paintball gun. You do the semi, you do the 3-round burst, you hold it down longer for full auto. That's like ramping on a paintball gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you can change it, so that's not. So to round off the internals, at least inside the gearbox, you have this sort of, it's I guess built into the Mosfet, I'm assuming, a low power battery warning. What is that, Sky?
You're special. Basically, it'll alert you when the battery's low. When it's getting below the critical point with the discharge, instead of damaging your battery, it'll alert you to unplug the battery and recharge it. So it will save you a battery in the long run, which is a feature on usually the high-end guns.
Batteries are expensive, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, they add up.
To move outside of the gearbox, you have, this is what I found really cool. I did a little bit of Googling to figure out what this actually meant. But you have a steel barrel coated in melanite. Just the fact that it's a steel type of barrel, 6.03 out of the box is insanely cool. The fact that it's coated in melanite, if you don't know what that means, it's basically some sort of coating that reduces friction. Okay, fancy words, whatever. It essentially makes your barrel last longer and it'll keep it cleaner, which in turn kind of like makes accuracy a little more because there's no less friction or whatever. It's just a good thing. I think it's time we kind of round this up, but essentially things I want to say is, like I said, there'll be shooting videos throughout this video, but it's really freaking accurate. Like, I was very impressed. It's 10.5-inch model. It doesn't have a very long barrel. The range is above average, nothing crazy, but it's definitely better than most guns in this price point. Okay. So basically overall, I would say that this is aimed towards like, it's high-end internals aimed towards like, I guess, mid-range players.
Mid-range or a beginner who wants something a little bit better than your basic gun.
Yeah, we think it's a great value. We think it's a really good value. I tested it for like a week. We looked at all the specs. You talk to the people at Amiga.
I talk to the people at the company. I really like it. I have to say, for the value, it's you get a lot of gun for your money. There are guns that give you more, but you're going to spend a couple $100 more than this one. So for the price to value, I give this a really valuable. It's great for what you pay. So
Sky loves it. I was only really hard on this gun because it's new and kind of had to do that. It's really good so far. In terms of longevity, it's literally built for longevity.
Yeah, it's built
so we assume it's going to last a really long time. We can't, only time will tell, but otherwise, we like this. This is approved.
I'm happy with the gun. They have a bunch of different sizes and styles. This is their SBR.
For more information on that, Sky will have that all up on his channel, as well as pricing, because he will have all the models in very soon this week.
I should have 3 of the models in this week, and then the next week or so I'll get the other models.
Awesome. So basically that really covers this gun. If you have any questions, please comment below and Sky will answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on all our social medias because it'd be cool of you and we'd appreciate it. And like, comment, subscribe.
All that fun stuff.